Alright, what's up guys? Mason's Rock Henderson here, and this is another late night review of Fargo, Season 2, Episode 7. And lot of interesting stuff. Stuff that I don't think I ever would have predicted. Um, so first of all, I'm going to go kind of the, I guess, the less intense route. Um, Betsy comes home and she sees boots that she doesn't recognize, and she grabs a shotgun out of the closet. She's like, "Oh, she's ready. She is ready to go." Um, she's ready to throw down, and it's shown clearly right here. Uh, but it turns out to just be Carl and Sonny, I think his name is. Um, Apparently, Lou asked them to watch over her while he's gone. He's out there in Fargo, and no, yes, maybe I can't remember. Um, but he's out there with like where the Gerhardts are, and tracking them down, doing all that stuff. So she's being watched over by Carl. She keeps insisting she doesn't need it, but in the end, she finally kind of lets Carl in that she has the sugar pill. She's taking the placebo. Um, she said she's not certain, but she's pretty sure. Um, so, and I kind of figured, because obviously she's not in the first season, so it's likely she does die. Um, I figured it was probably cancer that got her. I can't remember if Lou said it in the first season how she died, but it's been so long since I saw the first season. Um, but so that she tells him that, and you're just like, dang, well that sucks. They have a nice moment where he you can see he really does care. He's not just some jerk. He does care about her. Um, he gives her a hug, and she asks him to take care of Lou and Molly and her dad whenever she's gone. Um, kind of help Lou get through it. But then, just when you think her story's done, she goes over to her dad's house. I'm guessing to feed. I guess he has a cat or a dog or something. She can't find it, so she opens up these doors, looks inside, and there's a ton of writing. Um, I have no idea what any of that means. Uh, I'm not sure if it means her dad's going crazy, or if he's researching something. I don't know, but it was pretty freaky. Uh, just opening up and see a bunch of writing on the walls, and papers taped up everywhere. So I don't know where this is going, or what's wrong with her dad, but kind of a shocking moment. Like, holy crap, this is bad. Um, so anyway, that's the non-intense part of this episode. Elsewhere, like I said, you've got Lou and Hank, and they're working with that one guy that Lou met when he first went to South Dakota to talk to the judge, and then talk to the Gerhardts. Kind of a Weasley-looking guy, but they're with him. They go to arrest Mama Gerhardt. I think they said her name. I'm not even gonna try. Mama Gerhardt, that's her name. But they go to arrest her, and well, not arrest her, but bring her in. They say, look, we've got all this stuff on you. Um, are you gonna help us with take down the Kansas City Mafia? And she does give them some information. I think she also gives the name of the hotel where Mike Milligan is staying. Um, I think that's how they found it. I can't remember. Um, but Lou and the Weasley guy go to the hotel. Meanwhile, with the Gerhardts, the daughter, whose name also escapes me, Dodd's daughter, she goes to meet up with Mike to talk to him about stuff. And, very, very upset that he attacked the house with her in it. She wanted her dad dead, not her and her grandfather and her grandmother. So she's mad at him. She tries to fight him, but he's obviously he's just very cool about it. And so Lou and Hank, or no, Lou and the other guy bust down the doors. Um, because the guy's an idiot. When Lou tells him to take the daughter out, she like, is seducing him and then knees him in the nuts and gets out. Um, and then Lou, meanwhile, is kind of having this talk with Mike Milligan about, about greed and how if I can't remember what he said now. It was interesting though. Crud. Pretty much talking about like taking things that aren't yours, um, like having control over property, and of course Mike placed the racial card. You mean like slaves? And yeah, that is an example. Um, but anyway, but they have an interesting talk. Lou says, best you leave. Next time I won't do the courtesy of saying hello before I shoot. So that tension's building there. And then when he goes back, Mama Gerhardt, in a bit of geniusness, I think, she reveals everything about the Kansas City Mafia, like the organization, some of the buildings they have, in return for pretty much immunity. But of course, they say immunity for past crimes. Any new crimes, not on the table. And they let her go. But it's funny because while she's talking about it, you see Mike Milligan in the room with all of the Kansas City guys from before, and as she's talking, like you see it fading into the next room scene. One guy's gone, fading into the next room scene. One more guy's gone, fading into the next one. Two more guys are gone, until finally he's alone in the room. And like that's cleverly done. It's showing what's happened to them so far. And then once they leave after interrogating her, after making the deal with her, you see her like having a glass of water. She just kind of smiles to herself, takes a sip, and then they do the dual camera shots, showing one scene and on the other side another scene. It shows her smiling, drinking water, and it shows Mike Milligan just like kind of sprawled out on the couch, alone in the room. I like how they did that. It was the way they're using those double camera shots are very clever. But then go forward a little bit more. Lou and Hank hear reports about Dent, the Dodd's helper, Indian, Native American, whatever you want to call him. They call him Indian. I don't care. But he's apparently looking for Ed and Peggy down in South Dakota, and they're talking about it. The Weasley cop is out there too, smoking a cigarette, and she's like, "Well, that's South Dakota's problem, not ours." And they're just like, "Well, he's causing issues. We need to go down there. One trooper's dead already." Well, we just told the Gerhardts we wouldn't mess in their business. You might want to go talk to the chief first. And completely hilarious. Lou's just like, you're kind of a shit cop, And he's just, well, I'm getting a promotion next month, so can't be that bad. And Lou's like, alright, well, we'll just go save the day then, and you can stay here if you want. And then they just walk off. I was just like, yes. Like, that's the Lou that just, I love watching him whenever he's in that mood of just, I'm not taking crap from you today. And just calling the guy out on the fact that he's too scared to go do anything. And just ask everybody else's opinion first. Don't go mess with the Gerhardts. They're a dangerous family. And Lou's just like, whatever, it's the law. I'm gonna deal with this. And I think that's where they left off with them. With the Gerhardts, like I said, the girl goes to the hotel. After she leaves, Bear, the middle brother, and this other guy, I think his name was Garrett, maybe? He's a guy that he works for the Gerhardts, in a different state. I think they sent him over to help out because of the lack of numbers and people dying and stuff. Um, and so they show up at the hotel right as she's leaving, and Bear's like, I'll give you a ride home. She's like, what about my car? Well, you can take it. And you can tell, like, he's not really asking. He's telling her in an asking, in a question way, why don't I take you home? And it's like, that means get in the car or get in the truck right now, or else things are about to get bad. But as they're driving home, like, she's asking, about how's grandma, how's so and so, and he's just like, you haven't asked about my boy. And she says something about Dodd, and it's not Dodd, it's Dad. He's your father. And she like says something about how he's not, you've seen what he's done to me. He's not my dad. And then they pull off onto a road, not heading home. She's like, where are we going? And they get out, and he forces her heading towards the woods. And I'm just like, oh crap, this will not end well. And the whole time she's like protesting, like, no, please, no. And he believes that she's the one that let his son go out with the guy to take out Ed. And I can't remember what else he was accusing her of. I remember he accused her of that. He accused her of something else, and he's like, he said, sleeping with the enemy in France, they would scalp women for sleeping with any Germans. So, it's just all of this stuff he's just holding against her. And whenever they get out in the woods, it's like, get down on your knees. And she's like crying. She's like, no, it was Dodd. It was Dodd that sent your son out there. And just protesting, and he just holds up the gun. He's like, it's gone far enough. And then the way that they did the rest of this scene, one, they didn't show her getting shot, which means either she's alive or I don't know. I don't know why they didn't show it. So the only thing I can think of is that he didn't shoot her. But just, there's silence, and then all of a sudden music kind of rises, and then it kind of shows, like shots of the woods, shots of the truck, shots of more of the woods, and then shows him walking out, and then like I can't remember where he got the cast from. I think it was when he fought Dodd, maybe. I think he may have broke his hand. Can't remember. But like he goes to open the truck door and can't because of the cast, and he just slams it, and then rips it off. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, he's going crazy. And then as he's driving home, like they do the split screen again. Once again, used very effectively. They show Dodd, they show Rye, or no, they show Dodd, they show the Indian, they show Rye, and then they show Dodd's daughter. I'm just like, it's like showing what he's thinking about in the other screen. I'm like, oh, that's genius. The way they use the camera work here is so effective. I love it. And before he left, the Garrett guy, he was saying that somebody was calling about information about Dodd, and he wasn't taking it. I believe that was Ed. I'm pretty sure it was. But he wouldn't take the call, and he's like, tell him to leave a message. Tell him to leave a message. When he gets back, the guy again says, the guy called back looking for you. Said he had information about Dodd. And once again, like, upset. He's like, well, what did you say to him? What did you say to the man? I can't really remember exactly what was said there, but basically he was upset about it. And then after everything happens at the police station, they get Mama Gerhardt back, and they all get back, and Garrett again comes out, but this time he says, your Indian friend, Hansi, he said he found Dot. He found the man who took him. And they're just like, the mother runs in, like to grab the phone, and I can't remember what Bear did, but he knows that Dodd was taken by Ed and Peggy, and he's tracking him. So I think that's going to feature in next week's episode. The final story I want to talk about is Mike Milligan's, because he gets a call saying that things are going rotten. At the beginning of the episode, it showed like several people being killed. I think one of them was fresh. Like it looked like Bear and the scary guy dressed up as window washers and just killed some people in the office. And it shows them cleaning up that mess. And the guy's talking to Mike, and he's like, I'm sending. If you don't fix things in the next couple of days, I'm sending in the Undertaker. What an intimidating name. Sounds like something out of a comic book. Anyway, but he's like, okay. And you can tell they're not happy with Mike and everything that's happened, everything that's gone wrong. But I think Mike tries to tell him that the Scarahart family, they're not. He told them before, I think, that they weren't a force to be reckoned with, and now that they kind of are, I think he's come under fire now. But things just, like I said, they showed it whenever the Mama Gerhardt was talking to the police. They showed things getting progressively worse. They show where he is now, and guy calls and is like, we're sending in the Undertaker. Very interestingly, when the Undertaker gets there, first of all, he's this like really tall German guy, so pretty much exactly what you'd expect the Undertaker to be, except not as silent as I thought he'd be. But also, he had bodyguards maybe? It looked like these two, they were Asian guys. I don't know if they're supposed to be like bodyguards or they're supposed to be helpers, I don't know. But he gets up there, and he's like, well, where is he? And Mike Milligan comes out, like, how are you guys doing? And holds out his hand. He has one of those little, the guns that like slide up into your palm. Slides it out, shoots him in the head. Then he attacks one Asian while Kitchen brother attacks the other one, and just kills them all. And just like, okay, what? I have a theory. I'm not sure if this is right, but I'm thinking maybe he doesn't like the fact that this. I'm thinking he wants this to be his operation, and I think that he hates the fact that it's being taken over, that they're not trusting him with this, and so he says, we'll say the Gerhardts killed him. So I'm thinking maybe he did that so it will remain his operation. Possibly, maybe, I don't know. It's the only reason I can think of why he killed him. Can't really think of any other reason. But no time to think about that because he gets a call and recognized the voice instantly as Ed. And he's like, hey, I've got Dodd Gerhardt here. I'm wondering if maybe you wanted to, maybe if you wanted to make a trade or something like that. And just, that's interesting. That is very interesting to have, once again, like in the first season, you have this unassuming person who, after all of this happens to them, they kind of have to adapt. It shows how adaptable humans are. Going from this weak-old butcher who just, he was just this normal guy, trying to make a living, and he kills Rye Gerhardt after his wife hits him with his car, and then tries to cover it up, and they're still trying to cover it up, grinds up the body. Somebody tries to attack him, he takes him out by putting an axe through his head, and then, everything with the cops, once he gets out okay, he escapes. Peggy takes out Dodd, tases him, and, they kidnap him, and now are using him as a ransom, trying to make a deal with the Kansas City Mafia. I mean, that's just, it shows how people can change in a dire situation. How circumstances cause people to kind of figure stuff out quickly and change who they are to work it out for their benefit. I'm very interested to see where this is going now. Could go several different ways, but I'm not going to try to guess because I don't know which is the best way to go. They have several good ways they could take this. But yeah, really, really good episode. Like I said, camera work, once again, great. The music and the silence at the right times, really well done. The characters are just, they're so much fun to watch. They have their moments of just being funny and quirky, like Fargo is, like very quirky humor, and then they go on to moments of just seriousness and intensity, and not really sure what to expect next from them. So, really excited to see where it's going. Let me know what you guys think. See you at the next review. Peace out.